77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, what are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's go now to General Keane and find out what's going on in the whole world.
Yeah, and boy, are there a lot of details, especially vis-a-vis China and Iran. General Jack Keane, retired four-star general, also chairman of the Institute of the Study of War, senior strategic analyst for Fox News. What are your thoughts about what we're hearing came out of this meeting with Trump and President Xi?
Well, I think, first of all, this meeting is important to each one of them. They know full well, and actually President Xi said it, that the most important bilateral relationship that exists in the world is between China and the United States. And clearly it's recognized we have two superpowers here, one that's been a superpower, the United States, post-World War II to the present, and China, an emerging recent superpower, both economically and militarily. And that's one thing, but what makes it quite challenging is that they're competing. China wants to dominate and control the Indo-Pacific region, and they've said it time and time again, and they certainly want to take control of Taiwan, and that was their number one issue at the summit. And they also want to replace the United States as the world's global leader, and President Xi is the only chairman and premier that has had that as a defined objective, and he's in his 13th year, and he talks about it every single year. So, yes, this relationship is important. The personal relationship, Rita and John, is important to each of them, and they talk about it. They know that they're rivals and adversaries, certainly. Their eyes are wide open, but they're both attempting to make this work, and they both believe a personal relationship and keeping animosity and confrontation down is going to enhance the relationship of these two countries. I think the big thing that President Trump wants out of this is correct the trade imbalance, specifically wants them to purchase our soybeans and aircraft, and I think there's been an agreement on that. They made an agreement on this, Rita and John, the last time, and China only did 50% of it. But I understand that the people who are dealing with it, Trade Representative and also Treasury Secretary Bessent, believes that China is going to come through this time. And the indication is they have begun to come through on the precursors that go into manufacturing fentanyl in Mexico, and it's been so devastating to our population in the United States. In the past, they said yes and then blew it off. This time the indications are they're actually doing something about it. Taiwan. That is their issue. What did they want to achieve here? In a simple way to state it, weaken the United States support for Taiwan. That, I think, is what they're trying to achieve here. And it was the only truly confrontational issue in terms of their language. And the language that President Xi was using, a little unusual for him when he's dealing with rivals in the room. He has said this before when he's just making public statements to an audience or to an interview, and that is that Taiwan is their number one issue, and if the United States in any way resists this, it could lead to conflict and obviously a major crisis, and he believed it to be extremely dangerous. President Trump and his people, interesting enough, told the Xi government that they did not want to make this summit central discussion to be Taiwan. They wanted it to be economic focused and particularly trade, tariffs, and business opportunities for the United States in China. That's why he brought all of those CEOs that we've all been watching on television. But China, they obviously have what they want to say, they're going to say it, and Taiwan was their central issue.
Now,
As always in these summits, we're not going to really know the results until a few weeks from now, when things come a little bit better into view.
The American people have to realize that under President Trump's presidency, China knows they're never going to have Taiwan. You know, if they want to elect a Biden-type character again, we're going to lose Taiwan. My opinion.
Yeah,
Just my opinion.
I think, John, you're 100% right. They've seen Trump in the first administration and how he was willing to use military force to accomplish a political objective or to stop something bad. And that's the problems that he inherited. This time, with 4 years intervening between those presidencies, he came in, and to use a word that he has said, and I have said it as well, the world was a mess when he came in. And because adversaries were taking advantage of U.S. leadership. War in Europe for the first time, consequentially, since World War II. Obviously, Russia invades Ukraine. War in the Middle East, consequential, the most challenging war Israel has been in since its very inception, when it was dealing with multiple Arab nations attacking them at once. And obviously, President Xi has been very aggressive, not only in the Pacific region, but also in the Western Hemisphere. And look what Trump did. He pushed away China from Venezuela by capturing Maduro, and the regime answers to him now, not China. And he's pushing back on Iran, who's China's partner in the Middle East. That is their foothold in the Middle East. They do not want Trump to succeed here, where this regime is so weakened that it may eventually collapse and they lose their foothold. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. She knows who he's dealing with here. But what I think he wants to do is wear down the United States' support for Taiwan, hold back the weapons that they have already paid for. And by the way, we have delayed those weapons a few weeks. It remains to be seen if we come through with them. Hopefully we do. And discourage the allies from building up their defenses, which they are doing based on the encouragement of the United States in the Indo-Pacific region, similar to the way we've been encouraging our European allies to do that. China doesn't like any of that.
Now,
I'm in total agreement with your conclusion.
Yes, go ahead. In my additional conclusion is, I believe I hear that Putin is on his way to China after Trump leaves, and if Trump can put together the three powers left in the world, the top three, Russia, China, and the United States, maybe there'll be world peace for a few years.
Well, let's hope so. President Trump he's a realist and a pragmatist at the same time. He takes the world the way it is and deals with it, and doesn't try to pretend that it's the way it used to be. This is what I'm dealing with, and I'm going to confront it. And you got to give him a lot of credit for seeing it that way. And he would rather not have to use military force to accomplish political objectives, but he doesn't back away from it when he needs to. We have seen other presidents, particularly Obama and Biden, both, they get paralyzed, John and Rita, by the fear of adverse consequences, and therefore they don't act. And they really don't consider the way they should thoughtfully, what are the consequences of doing nothing? And what we got of doing nothing is Russia trying to trample over Ukraine, because we did nothing in 2014 under Obama when they made their first move. And we did nothing to encourage Israel to go after Hamas. As a matter of fact, Biden was holding back major weapon systems from them so that they would not take on Hamas in any consequential way, and certainly did not want them to take on Iran, despite the obvious threat to them. So, yes, he is dealing with this world. He would rather it be another way, but he's a pragmatist and a realist, and he's telling the truth to himself, and that's what you've got to do if you're going to really be the world's global leader. Face the world as it really is.
Governor, you had one quick one, and because we have to take a break, Governor.
General, what I would say is you're absolutely right. The only thing that's changed the situation among the three world powers is that the United States has stopped letting ourselves getting to be pushed around.
Yeah, and Jack, just real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. These four Axis powers came together for a major reason. They are a sphere of influence in their own area, but they saw the United States leadership under the previous administration as being weak and vulnerable, and they saw it as opportunity. What Trump is doing, he's taking that opportunity away from them.
Well, General Keane, thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for the update, and God bless you and God bless America.
Thank you, Jack.